Time.
Okay. Mr. Leggett, I'm Kami Brown Van Sant. I'm one of your constituents. And I noticed during the campaign that both you and your opponent campaigned on the platform that included a plank that had to do with the reunification of the county. What does reunification mean to you, and how do you anticipate that you will handle the reunification process?
Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
The way we do the reunification that you're talking about is we have 4 commissioners now that have been working together. Mr. Carmichael, during his period of time when he was on the board, did not work with them. I don't think you change your position overnight like that, like he's proposing. I have the same beliefs as what the county needs as they do. I don't believe that the airport has been such a divisive issue. It has torn families apart. It's torn our county apart. It's done a lot of damage to our county. And what I believe is once we get working together and start solving problems, this county has a lot of problems that by working together and stopping all the argument and all of the divisive comments that's been going on, I think that's going to be a major step in solving our problems. 5 people working together with a common solution and a common goal will be a big benefit for Paulding County. I want to get us off the news as being the way we've been the last 8 years. I want us to have a positive look. I want us to have a sign at the county line that says we're open for business. And I want this county to start working together. Once all of these solutions are being worked on that we have problems with, I believe that's going to be the big difference of seeing what Paulding County can be, not what Paulding County is today.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
The question of commercial passenger service is in the hands of the court right now, not the commissioners, not the airport authority. So since the commissioners cannot stop it at this point, what's the value of having an anti-commercial chairman sitting up there on the board?
The value of having an anti-commercial chairman is you're going to have, like I said, 5 commissioners working together. Once we start getting our legislature to understand that we are together, that it's going to be a 5-0 vote on changing the IBA and the airport authority where they're not the same people. We're going to our representatives as a united group and telling them this is what Paulding County wants and this is what Paulding County needs. Then they should start working to achieve those goals. If the courts do decide against Paulding County, I will do whatever the court says I have to do, but I will not go beyond that. If we have to fund them a certain amount for a certain period of time, that's fine. That's what I have to do as a chairman, legally. But I will not go beyond that. There will not be the extra money that has been going to the airport authority like it has in the past. That will not be happening. They're going to have to stand on their own 2 feet.
You know, well, that's really good to hear. One thing that I'm looking forward to is, yes, I agree with you that the makeup of the airport authority and IBA boards needs to change. But since that can't be done until 2017, early in the year, you as chairman would still be sitting on those boards.
Yes.
And what will you bring to those boards?
The makeup of the board at this time is it's been anti-county in my opinion. It's not been where the county has a say-so that is in the benefit of the county, of the citizens of the county. I think by my being on there, it will be more of a 50-50 board where maybe there can be some things that are in the benefit of the county citizens that are the taxpayers of the county. That it's not, I'm not for a county subsidizing a private business like this has been for the last several years. They should be able to stand on their own. And I will be on that board and make sure that happens and make sure the citizens of the taxpayers of the county get their due benefit.
You're right, we have not been represented by anyone pre-Teresa Filial being elected as mayor. And there's no balance on that board.
No.
So I look forward to you bringing balance. Thank you very much.
Mr. Leggett, there's a need in Paulding County for better transparency in the government, in the local government. What can you do to make sure that that comes together so the voters ourselves can be informed of what's going on within the county?
Good question.
What's the primary thing that any government agency, not just Paulding County, any government agency that does a meeting, they should abide by the Sunshine Law of the state of Georgia. It should be an open meeting. It should be advertised as such. And that is required by law. And I don't think it's been done near as much as it should have been in this county. I plan to get someone in here and train our employees, our department heads, our boards that we have on all these boards that we have in the county, to make sure they understand the Sunshine Law, to make sure they understand that they have to abide by that. It has to be an open meeting, and it has to be published that that meeting is going to be taking place. If that doesn't happen, there doesn't need to be a meeting. It's not a legal meeting. And I want to stress that to all of our employees and all of our boards. Any meeting that is conducted on Paulding County's behalf has to be an open meeting.
I know in the past, we've not been getting this, and that's the reason why our county is having a lot of the problems that we're having now with different stuff, is we've not been getting this transparency. Everything wants to be behind a closed door. So you're going to put a stop to that, to where it's got to be public like it should be.
That's exactly right. There will never be, in my 4 years as chairman, there will never be a closed meeting in another county that is private and hidden like we've had in the past. It will always be an open meeting. It will always be advertised. And if it's not that way, there won't be a meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Leggett, I'm going to have to leave, but thank you so much
Thank you.
for answering my questions and all these others too.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hear that, because, yeah, up until these lawsuits started hitting the airport authority, meetings have not been handled appropriately, including things like letting the public know why they were going into closed session and that sort of stuff. But as a plaintiff, having sat through depositions, it was unbelievable how the airport authority board members all claimed they did not know what the Sunshine Laws, what the Open Meeting Act laws were about. And there is absolutely no excuse for that. And granted, it is no excuse, ignorance is no excuse for the law, so they're not off the hook with that, that alibi. But if we start taking care of the problem, nip it in the bud from the get-go, so people know what's expected of them, we have a better chance of them following the law, so thank you very much.
That's why I say these groups need to be trained. I don't know what the leadership has done in the past since I've been off the commission in 2001, but that's a very important law, and it's a law that has to be followed. It's no different from any other law in the state as far as I'm concerned. If it's a law, it needs to be followed, and we will follow it. Like I said, I want to make sure everybody's trained and make sure that they understand that this is a law they have to comply with.
Thank you.
Mr. Leggett, I understand that there's a pretty good need for road repair in this county. What's your feelings about that and what do you intend to do about that?
Our roads are in real serious condition in a lot of different areas. A lot of it has to do with basically the neglect of the roads. They haven't been upgraded like they should have been over the years, and the pavement that they did was done just as a pavement to fulfill a contract. It's my feeling that as we do a road, I'm not saying we're going to do the whole county at one time, but as we do a road, we take, say, Yorkville Pass, and we go down through there and we widen the road like it should be done, the trees removed from the sides of the road, we put shoulders on the roads, if there's huge drop-offs, put guardrails up, and make this road the best road it can be at that time. One road at a time, that's all we have to do. And we're not talking about all roads at one time, but as we do a road, do them right, put the markers, the reflectors on, put the striping on it as they should be, and make it the best road it can be, that it will last a long time, where we're not going back 5 years from now and repaving a road we just paved 5 years ago. Make the drainage correct.
Do it right the first time.
Do it right the first time. Cut the trees back where sunshine can hit the road. That's what we used to do. We had a group come and, quote, cut the sides of the road down my road last week. The school buses are going to be beating the sides off of their buses because when they did the cutting down the side, they cut under the trees. They didn't cut the trees back like they should have. And they're going to be beating the sides of the buses up driving down that road, because the only way they can not do it is to get on the other side of the road to miss the trees where they're going to be meeting traffic. So, you know, when we do something right, then you don't have to go back and fix and fix and fix. Let's do it right the first
I had
time.
an employer tell me one time, when I was a welder, he said, if you don't have time to do it right the first time, how are you going to find time to do it over?
That's exactly right.
And you're a truck driver, right?
Yes, now
So these roads are,
a lot of them are in bad shape. You have to really dodge potholes because it takes a toll after a while on the truck. It makes it a little bit dangerous.
Well, it is a big safety issue. A lot of our accidents happen now, especially with these front-wheel drive cars. It happened all the time anyway, but these front-wheel drive cars make it different. When you drop that car off of that road and there's a 6-inch drop off and you're trying to get back on the road to keep from going down an embankment, you yank that car back, odds are you're going to yank it into the other lane of traffic and hit somebody head on. You're either going to hit somebody or you're going off the road that side.
That's right.
If there's a shoulder there for you, a safety shoulder that's the same level as a road, then you don't have that problem.
With the grooves cut in it.
With the
so
grooves.
that you can hear
Exactly.
the tire hit the groove. Like some folks, you know, maybe even go to sleep.
Sure they do.
But those grooves in the shoulder of the road make such a roar of a noise that happens all of a sudden that it alerts you. You know, it kind
And
of
it
startles you.
doesn't cost that much more to do when you're talking about
You take the time to fix
saving
the
a
road
life.
right to begin with.
There is no money that you can put on a life.
That's exactly.
And then if you're doing something like that, if it's an improvement and it saves one life, it's worth
Amen.
it. Anybody else?
Mr. Leggett, I wanted to talk about water, if you don't mind. I have a well. We've had one for as long as we've lived out in West Paulding, about 20 years. Very happy with the well. Paid a lot of money for it because it's drilled. But my question is, if we get water to come into Paulding County, which is what we're talking about, you know, with the reservoir and all this kind of stuff, will I be required to tap into the county water, even though I have a well and I don't need the county water?
You're not required, you won't be required to tap into it. Sometimes when the water comes down, some of the folks choose to because it's a cost savings to get on the system at that time. But you're not required to get on to have a tap there, no. The benefits of having it is, as a taxpayer of this county, your homeowner's insurance will go from a Class 10, if you don't have anything out there, you go to a Class 10 to a Class 6, you'll probably save anywhere from $400 to $600 a year on your homeowner's insurance.
That's
And
substantial.
that's enough to pay for the water tap, for that year. You know, if you prorated it out in just several years, it would pay for itself. Not only the fire protection part of it is that your well may go dry. A lot of wells have gone dry. A lot of wells are contaminated because subdivisions have located nearby and it's contaminated the water stream underground. And folks are living off a lot of water in the county. It's just a benefit in a lot of ways if you were to tap on, even if you, like I said, you're gonna save the cost of it in your homeowner's insurance. And you'll have the benefit of the fire department won't have to truck water back and forth if you have an incident at your house.
Right.
They'll be able to hook up to the hydrant and do what they need to do. But also, it's the benefit of, it's gonna benefit the whole system. When you've got dead end lines in areas like we have, and you loop those lines together, that's going to improve everybody's water quality, and it's going to improve the system. It's not, there are many benefits of doing that, and we've got a lot of lines that only 1 or 2 or 3 miles separate two dead end lines, and it would benefit the whole system by having them all completed. It would help everybody's pressure. There would be fresher water. When that water's sitting at a dead end, then, you know, it's not as fresh as the water that's moving in other parts of the system. So, you know, there's a lot of benefits to having the new water lines.
Thank you. Thank you for
Mr.
that.
Leggett, let me ask you another question about
Yes.
that, please. What is going to be the source of this water?
Right now, our source is Cobb County, which,
No, I meant when the new system is, the new,
the new reservoir will be our main source. We'll always have a need to be hooked with Cobb County in case we had an emergency at our pumping station or something like that happened. But our reservoirs, by the year 2019, should be our main
will
source
it be
of
fed
water.
by creeks or streams?
It is fed by the Etowah River is the main part of it. Of course, the rainwater that comes into that area also will be a benefit, but our main source will be the Etowah River. And what happens there is a win-win-win situation. When Georgia Power is generating power, we will be taking water off of the river. That keeps, the way it happens now, they can only pump for a certain amount of time and they flood the lowland. As we're taking off, they're going to be generating, and that lowland is not going to be flooding like it was in the past. It's a win-win-win situation for all of us as far as I'm concerned.
So there'll be a real good purification system there.
There's going to be the state-of-the-art purification system there at the dam, and we're going to be having lines run from that area down to 278 where the tap-in location is going to run to. So it's going to be,
Thank you.
yeah, it'll be our main water source by 2019.
So, let's go back to the hooking into the waters real quick. You can go ahead and have a meter set when
Sure.
they put the lines in. You don't actually have to hook into it.
No, you
They
don't
can go
have-
ahead and set the meter. So, if you decide later on that you want to sell, that would be a selling point.
That's exactly right.
If something happens to your well, all you have to do is you then pay to have the lines run from the meter to your house. So there are advantages. Like you said, it'll save you money because the hydrants will be down there. But you can go ahead and have a meter set and never even use it.
Do you have to have a meter
No.
set?
You do not have to have a
Lines go
meter
in?
set. They can go back in retroactively and put in a meter. That's
Is
not
there
a
an
problem.
advantage to doing it initially when it's all being done?
You save probably $500 or more dollars,
Oh.
$750 maybe.
While they're at it, they go ahead and.
Yeah,
do it.
I don't know what the exact,
Okay.
I don't know what the exact fee is now, but yeah, you save a little money by doing it as the line goes by.
Will this be advertised everywhere for everyone in the county to make their decision plenty of time?
I would hope so, yes.
Good.
Yes, and it will be advertised that they're gonna, because we would, in a lot of cases, we would have to go in and ask for a right of way to run the line down through there. So, yes, you would be notified. It wouldn't just show up at your front door, no.
Thank you.
But I think there are a lot of good benefits to it.
Sounds like it.
And I really think that maybe we can come up with a system where instead of you having to come up with a lump sum for your meter, that it could maybe be put in on your bill where you could pay $50 extra a month to be able to afford it. Because I know a lot of folks can't afford a $5,000 bill just off the bat, you know, to be doing that.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Leggett, I got one more question. And this is gonna sound like I'm trying to put people out of work, but that's not the case. Our Board of Commissioners now, they have subbed out our state work, okay? Which we have county employees to do. They have subbed that out and they're hollering because it saves money. My question is, if it's gonna save, is it saving enough money for the county to keep those county employees on the clock and getting paid while they're subbing out the work that those guys were hired to do?
Wayne, what kind of work are you talking about?
To cutting the side of the roads, keeping the side of the roads cleaned up and stuff like that.
So let me see if I'm clear.
I understand what he's asking.
Okay, go ahead.
That's one of my problems with what I saw this past week. They ran the tractor down through there. They didn't really do a good job. I think the county employees, before when we had county employees doing the job, did a tremendously better job than what we have now. I cannot see where, by the time, I understand that they say benefits and pay and all this makes it cheaper. I don't see that it makes it cheaper because you don't get as good a job. People are not as satisfied with what they've seen with the contractors versus county employees doing it. And I really believe that in my position is I had rather see county employees do those jobs because they're, even though we may be saving money, you're going to have to prove it to me where we're saving that much money, because no business is going to be doing this and not making a profit. I don't believe it's a benefit to Paulding County to do this way. If we were to have an emergency, you have to go out and pay these contractors to come in and work extra to do the benefit, when we've got people that we can call, even though we'll be paying them, they will be readily available for us to use in case of an emergency. I really would like to see that brought back into the county.
Thank you. I would like to see that myself.
Speaking of the sides of the roads, what about trash? What are some of your ideas on cleaning Paulding up?
We have got such a trash problem. I followed a truck last 2 weeks ago Friday, and it was a container truck, and it had a lot of plastic in it. Between Dallas-Nebo Road, Highway 61, Mustang Drive, when I finally lost him because a big, huge piece of plastic hung up under my truck, and it was smelling on the exhaust already. So I pulled over. I didn't get to follow him all the way to the dump. I was going to make sure he got a ticket. But this stuff is happening way too much. Dallas-Nebo Road now has a living room seat on the side of it it didn't have last week. We've got that happening so many areas in this county. Mattresses, living room seats, bedroom seats, you name it is being dumped on sides of our roads. And what we're going to have to do something about it, because you're not going to attract a major business into the county unless you have a clean county that shows that you take pride in it. And if you don't have the water and sewer, you're not going to attract a big business in the county. I want this county cleaned up. I want to make there are going to be some changes where we're going to go and start checking and see who dumps this stuff. And there's going to be some people going to court over it, because if you can't take pride in your county on your own, we can make you take pride in your county by making you pay a fine. I think what we need to do, our system that we've got now, I don't believe is working. Everybody has to go to the northeast part of the county to the dump. I think what we can do is something similar to Carroll County, where they have what they call convenience centers, and they're dumpsters where people can carry mattresses, furniture, trash, whatever. It doesn't have to be a big area, and I've already talked to the guys over the dump, and they're in favor of doing something. They think that they can get people to volunteer and come and sit at these places and get people, you know, to do the right thing and bring it to the dump, to these convenience stations. I'd like to see one on the west side of the county. I'd like to see one in the south side of the county somewhere. It don't have to be a lot to make a big difference, but there are a lot of things that we need to do. We need to have maybe change the ordinances somewhere to make sure that property owners that have big areas of property where these dumps are happening do similar to what Carroll County has been doing. They've been going in and requiring them to put up gates and stop them from coming onto their property and dumping. So there are many measures we can do, but we've got to start at the first bag of garbage and go from there. As you've seen, there is garbage all over this county. You know, it's sad to drive around a county that you're proud of and see all this.
Yorkville Pass is one of those problems.
I saw Yorkville Pass the other day. You're right.
Let's talk about economic development.
Okay.
3.5, 4, 5, 6 years, every available dime has gone to the airport.
Yes.
We have business parks sitting empty.
Yes.
Right now, the permitting process in Paulding County, from what I understand, is a nightmare. How are you going to fix that business license application process? And what are your vision of bringing good business to Paulding County?
I just talked to a business owner this morning over here at Audrey's, and he has moved his business out of this county because the permitting process was such a pain and it was so expensive for him. And he went to an adjoining county, and 30 minutes and $45 later, he had a business license. No, I'm not kidding. He just sat over there and told me that this morning. We're having that too much. We lost a Burger King in this county just this past month because the permitting process was so extraordinarily difficult and so expensive that they changed their mind. Burger King is not a big employer, but there are a lot of people that would like to work for Burger King and make
Especially
money.
high school kids.
Yeah,
High
absolutely.
school
We will
kids,
be
yes.
providing jobs. I want to look at the fee scale that we've got. I want to compare it to other counties. I want to look at the process that we do to come in and do a business license. There's got to be a better way than what's happening right now. I mean, we're losing way too many businesses because of our business license structure and the way that they have to go by doing it. There's no need to have to come to our courthouse 3 or 4 times just to get a permit.
And they can't even do it online.
No.
How would you make it easier?
Doing it online is a one way to do it. One of the things that I want to see us do is I have heard businesses tell me that they weren't notified that their business license was due, existing businesses, until a marshal showed up at their business with a citation. We need a better system. We can have it on the internet where we can notify them. Look, your business license is due. I know that you're busy, but your business license is due, and you have until this time to come and reapply. And all it is communications. And we don't have any communication right now. I've been told several times that first thing they realized their business license was due is when the marshal showed up with a citation. You know, that's not communication.
Okay, so we have an economic development department.
Yes.
a division, a separate entity.
Right.
I see very little interaction between the Board of Commissioners and our economic development. I would like to see that change. I think that the economic development and the Chamber of Commerce and the Board of Commissioners should all work side by side for the betterment of expanding these practically empty business parks and do what we need to do to attract good paying jobs to Paulding County in those parks.
We have 5 business parks in this county, and there is so little participation, it's unbelievable. We've got grass that's 6 foot high in some of them that have been standing 6 to 8 years empty, and there's no need for that. I think we have a good person as our economic development director. Mr. Roberts is going to be a great asset to this.
Robert Reynolds.
Robert Reynolds is going to be a great asset to this county. He has a vision, and we haven't had a vision in a long time as far as where we are today, where we need to be, and we need to encourage him. We need to encourage the economic development community that is working with him that Paulding County is open for business. And we are looking for businesses to come into Paulding County. We need to have a vision. There was a plan developed 18 years ago, 12 years ago. And that plan, there was money spent on that plan. As far as the airport, as far as our industrial parks, it has never been followed. I'd like to look at that plan and see if it's still applicable today, where we can actually sit down, have a civil discussion that is not about anything but economic development, and go from there and come up with a plan and implement.
I guess that study that's being done will help
That will
us
help.
as well.
That will help. But we've had this plan, like I said, 12 years along, and spent quite a bit of money on it to have it developed. Never been cracked open, and that's sad.
Okay, so I understand there was a recession in there, but
Yes.
during the recession, we've seen that neighboring communities grow like wildfire.
We have.
Okay, of course, Cobb County we know because of the interstates, but Rockmart, the city of Rockmart, and Polk County, who has no interstate, has grown by leaps and bounds. I had an opportunity to meet the mayor of Rockmart and sit down. He's bringing 2,000 jobs to the city of Rockmart over the next 5 years. That's phenomenal.
Sure.
And that could be here in Paulding County.
Sure it could be.
If Rockmart can do it, we can do it. And I think it's just a matter of working together with the Board of Commissioners, our economic development, and working and stressing getting those industrial parks up and running and ready. Move in ready for any business that wants to be there. And if we could get some spec buildings built, that would be even better.
We've got everything we need in those industrial parks. We've got water, we've got sewer, we've got the property. All we need is these folks to come in and us work to try to get them in here and help us get something moving. The problem is that the airport, it always gets back to the airport. That's been our major focus for any kind of industrial development. It doesn't have to be that way. As an aviation airport, general aviation airport, we can go in there and attract companies that there is no MRO facilities in North Georgia that people can have an airplane worked on. We can use that as a basis. If we have someone that has the understanding of what a general aviation airport is.
We now just got a brand new MRO company
Right.
at our airport.
Right.
So that puts us in a better situation.
Exactly it does. When you have cottage industries that support whatever function it is, it doesn't matter what it is. If you've got industries that locate around it, if it's a Toyota plant, you want gas tank manufacturer, you want seat manufacturer, you want all these people that support that to be nearby. And that's what we need to do with that general aviation airport. that's a starting point. We've got so many places that we could be trying to attract to this county. Southwire is a huge employer for Carroll County. We could be hopefully attracting someone like that in the southern end of our county where it would be generally located close to Southwire.
Southwire.
Southwire is one of the major wire manufacturers in this country. Yeah, but they've got businesses, they've got a business, then they're located in Carrollton, Villa Rica, all kind of different satellite places that they have.
And they also have a program that
Right.
they use through the local schools and the colleges to do an intern program through with them. So.
That's right, if you go through Southwire's intern program, you've got a job when you leave that program, a good high-paying job. And we need to attract these kind of industries. We've got sewer on the southern end of the county. There that could be hooking up to the sewer at Georgia. It'd be a win-win situation for everybody. We have to develop a plan. And that's the major part of it. We don't have a plan now. And we can talk about water and sewer and businesses, but until we actually start going and trying to work on this. Jamie Gilbert was doing a good job, and Jamie had some major things lined up for us. But all that fell to the wayside, and now we're back at start one again. But that's what it takes, somebody to go out there and work and try to get these businesses. We've got 159 counties in this state. Every one of those counties are trying to attract these big box businesses. Everybody wants them because they're big employers. I want them if we can get them in Paulding County. We've got the place and we've got the things that we need to do to attract them to us. But we've got to have someone to push for that. And we've got that person now. And I think we can do very well with it.
And now that, I don't know what the plans are for the IDA as far as the director goes, but here's hoping we get someone very competent in there whose
Exactly.
focus is not the airport,
Exactly.
will work with Mr. Reynolds. It seems like it's a group effort, you know, the commissioners as well, and like Kathy said, Chamber of Commerce, everybody.
I would like for Mr. Reynolds to, anytime he has some type of good news, if he doesn't have good news, if he can give us a monthly report of what's happening with our economic development, it's got to be a benefit to everybody because it knows we're trying to do something. I really do believe that we're at a point now that if we don't start trying to do that, everybody talks about it being a bedroom community, and Paulding County will most likely always be because we don't have the major interstates. We don't have the big rivers to be able to do massive sewer projects. Our land is so expensive, we can't do land application like a lot of other counties do because it's just too expensive to spray poop on it. But there are things we can do. We've got a major sewer line on the south end of the county that's at the Cobb County line that we can work with Cobb County to sewer the lower end of Paulding County and can attract some major businesses. We're going to have a 6-lane interstate coming in down 92. 5 minutes from I-20 when this road is finished. That is going to be a great economic boom for Paulding County. It may be, 278 was the economic boom of the 90s. 92 may be the economic boom for Paulding County in the next 20 years. We don't know, but we have that promise. We've just got to get started.
And that's a state road, right?
That's the state road.
So the state
Yes.
is paying for it.
Yes, it's already in progress right now. It's coming through Douglas County as we speak. So,
All right. I think I need to get to work. I appreciate everything.